that we're not going to see Wilder against Joshua. There is Terry in Brighton. If Joshua keeps running out of opponents at this rate, he'll be fighting Jake Paul. Actually, I would pay to watch that. I'm in that territory now. People are just desperate to see a big fight in the heavyweight division.
Of course. I mean, we've been waiting for it now for the best part of 2 or 3 years, all the big fights. And you know, I think it's a breath of fresh air, as I keep referring to, that Tyson Fury is now boxing Alexander Usyk for the undisputed. And I think that changes the whole landscape of the heavyweight division. I truly believe that. I think that 2024 will be the year.
Yeah, there's Tony saying, actually, to be fair to AJ, it wasn't his fault that the White fight fell through. What's the latest in Dillian White? Does anyone have a latest in Dillian White?
No, we don't know. We don't know what's happened with Dillian since.
Seems to have gone to ground, hasn't it?
Well, sort of, since the failed test, we haven't heard any more.
Well, he's going to have to be in front of UK, isn't he, at some point, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he's got his own problems to deal with.
One man who fought and won is Lee Wood. Of course, he knocked out Josh Warrington. And now Wood has vacated his WBA title and will now campaign at 130. One or two boxing fans asking me to ask you, Spencer, what do you think is next for Wood?
Listen, I think it's a great move from Lee Wood. Like, I know, the struggles that he has making the featherweight is incredible, and I think he's getting older. He's at that age now. Was he 34, 35 years of age? He's coming into the twilight of his career. He wants all the big fights. Next move up to super featherweight. Joe Cordina, IBF champion. Yep. What a great fight. And I mean, that's a fantastic fight, and obviously a big money fight. And that's where Lee's at now. He's probably got, Simon, 2-3 fights left?
Yeah. And
he wants all the big fights. I think it's a great move. I like it. There's
no
we know
rematch for Josh.
A rematch with Josh as well, but under his terms, and that would be up at super featherweight. We know he's a big guy for featherweight. I think that he's earned the right. I mean, if you look at his recent years and what he's done in winning the IBF title, losing the IBF title, winning it back again, you've got to respect what he's achieved. Winning the world title, not the IBF title, the WBA title. I apologise.
You have to respect the manner in which he's done it as well.
Yeah,
because in the Michael Conlon fight, he was in a war, and and he dug it out at the end. He's gone back and fought fighters that he's lost his world title for, and gone straight back in and won it again. And this was no mean outcome against Josh Warrington, because Josh Warrington was bossing that fight. And it looked like a one-way direction. And what Lee Wood said was, he's going to keep thinking he can do things in a certain way. He's going to make a mistake, and when he does, I'm going to deal with him. And that's what he did to Josh.
Do you know what? And he's done the same with Conlon as well. I mean, he was down and out in the second round against Conlon, and he just showed that grit, that determination to stick in there, and power. But not to get disheartened in a contest that was going completely the opposite way. And it happened again there, and I think that, the Mauricio Lara fight where he lost, he got knocked out, what was that, in the 7th round when he got knocked out, and he decided to sort of go back into the immediate rematch. You go, well, respect, because I thought he was crazy doing that. So, I think he's earned his stripes, and I think that he's earned, if he has the Josh Warrington fight, it should be on his terms, and that would probably be up at super featherweight with him vacating.
One name that constantly comes up, and until now, we didn't really know the answer to this. Will Billy Joe Saunders get back in the ring? We saw him over in Texas having a pop at Canelo. We saw what he can do in this country. He's a character, but by God, he can fight. Now, Simon, he got in front of you in your podcast, and I know you pushed him on it. This was Billy.
I'm going to fight in December. I'll probably fight at 12-6, 12-5. I'm not going to say I'm going to fight a superstar. I'm not going to sit in, sell rubbish and say I'm going to fight a superstar. So
you're going to fight at 174, 175. So is that you're going to fight in light heavy?
I'm going to fight 12 stone 6 coming back, and then you'll see me New Year 12 stone.
Yeah.
I don't want to go in there and stink the place out because I'm drained and I ain't made the weight. I want to slowly bring it down, and then obviously have a little run out, get the ball rolling, pick the opponent up, and then look for the biggest fights he can bring me, and then see where I'm at. I only want 3 or 4 fights, but I'm looking now to build a career around boxing, because this walking away, look, you know yourself, you're a successful man. You can do all property, you can do this.
But it doesn't satisfy you, does it?
What is? Do you know what I mean? Look, I need something to be involved in boxing. It's an hard sport just to forget about and to walk away. I'm not worried about me being known or seen.
It's a way of life, isn't it?
It's just a way of, it's just my way of life since I've been 5. And it's hard just to walk away now.
Do you know what? I mean, when you think of it, we'd almost forgotten about him, Simon. I mean, his last fight was the defeat to Canelo, and that was 2 years ago. So if he comes back, he'll be welcome back.
Sure. And it was a brilliant discussion with Billy. He's really an infinitely likeable person. He knows the mistakes he's made in his life, and he knows the judgment calls that have been the ones that he's made. But as far as company and insight, and talking about boxing and the world of boxing and his achievements, he was brilliant. And this coming back thing it's in his blood. He wants to do it, and I don't think he's just spinning a yarn. I pushed him after that. You'll hear another part after that. I go, come on, Billy, we've heard all this before. No. He's coming back at light heavy. Gonna have one fight straight back down to super middleweight, and then start looking around for many fight. He quite fancies Demetrius Andrade and a few of those sort of people.
I mean,
so
yeah, what did he say? 3 or 4 more fights?
Yes.
Yeah.
I understand.
I like him. I like him, Spencer.
Absolutely.
It means what he says what he means.
I understand where Billy's at. When boxer retires from the sport, and he's been doing it since he was a young child, they lose that identity. And he has to fit into life as a normal civilian, and he's got all the money in the world. Kell Brook had the same struggles as well. He's got all the money in the world, but he's got no real ambition to get up and do anything. He's lost that routine in life. He's lost that discipline of getting up, going running, strict diets, etc. And it becomes very difficult, and the mental health does kick in with that. And I think that Billy's sort of struggling with that as well. And coming back into boxing is giving him some sort of purpose. And I'm glad that he's coming back, to be fair, because he put on a lot of weight, and like you say, he's losing direction in life, really. So it's good to have him back. And yes, it'd be interesting to see where he lands.
24 months, 2 years since he fought Canelo and lost. When he does come back, will he be anywhere near what he was?
Well, he said it himself there. He's going to come back. It's going to be an easy warm-up fight to get back into things. He doesn't want to take the place out, he said. No, he won't do that.
It'll
be a fight at a lower level. He's a natural talent. And, people are going to ask the question, about the Canelo fight and the broken eye socket. Will that bother him? Will that play on his mind going into future fights? Because we saw that with Kell Brook as well. Yep. He's not that character. He's not that character. Billy's, he's one of those travelling guys that just get on with it. That won't be in the back of his mind. That won't be psychological damage.
Yeah.
I think that will be something that's in the past.
When he talks about the fight with Canelo and how he describes that fight and how he wasn't what he thought. Is that it?
Yeah.
I know people say, well, hang on, Billy, you got stopped. Right? But his action was, is that it? I expected more. I thought you were a monster. And he felt that it was really in this fight, and ultimately his eye popped, and that was the end of the discussion.
Yeah.
But he talks about it was like, I didn't think, I was really enjoying it. I was loving it. I thought this was great. And when he was hitting me, I'm thinking, this is all right. I'm fine with this. I'm quite comfortable with this.
Because Canelo's been built up to be this superstar, like this guy who's like untouchable, and then all of a sudden you get in there and go, hold on a minute.
And he walked into Canelo's place. I mean, it was Austin, Texas, where
75,000 people. The biggest outdoor boxing event in America since Spinks fought Muhammad Ali. Yeah. 75,000 partisan Canelo Alvarez fans.
Yeah. I mean, many's a one, Spencer. I think he got, don't quote me on this, but I will say it publicly. I think he got something in the region of 9 million. For that.
He got
so many boxers would have said, do you know what, that's it.
Jim, it's not about the finances, is what I'm saying. He's had many big paydays. He's a 2-weight world champion, Billy. He's had a great career. It's not about that. It's about, like I said to you, when you retire from boxing, it's about finding direction in life.
Yeah.
And he's like, his legacy's already really cemented by winning and achieving what he's achieved. But it's about finding direction in life.
And he does say,
find that direction.
He's had a bet with me, because not while he's got a hole in his backside, according to him, will Chris Eubank Jr. win a world title. So we've had a bet on that. So
okay.